Now tell me how you met Lenny.
When did I meet Lenny? I used to hang out at his office when he was at Metric Music.
Metric Music.
Jack Mitchie and I used to go there and just hang out. The old days when you'd go to the publisher and hang out.
You can go hang.
Yeah, Brian Wilson would walk in, hear the new Burt Bacharach stuff.
Those were the days.
Yeah, those were the songwriting days.
Yeah. The greatest.
Yeah. So,
so Lenny.
anyway, so Ricky, I mean, what we did with her, because it was the writing was so unusual.
Yeah,
and
very
so
unusual.
Quirky.
Yeah.
So our job was to see if we could make it get on the radio and be a hit without compromising the fundamental beauty of what she had done. So we got great musicians in to work with her. And, I mean, the greatest of all, we had Johnny Mandel did a couple of arrangements, and Ralph Burns on the second record. I don't know if he was on the first record. Ralph did Skeletons. What an arrangement that was. And, we had Neil Larson and Buzzy Featon and Red Calendar. Oh, maybe I should turn mine off too.
It's Billy, actually.
And Red Calendar, the great jazz. I'll turn mine off too. The great jazz bassist, and Victor Feldman, who was in my Victor played on it. Dr. John was on that record. Mac Rabenak.
Now, did you know all these people? You just had an instinct of
we
knew of them, and they would be great.
We had worked with them on other records. So, but Neil and Buzzy came. I think. How did I find Neil? Maybe through Andy Newmark and Willie Weeks. I can't remember. Neil and Buzzy played on a Greg Allman record that Lenny and I produced.
So these are kind of people you had at your fingertips, and you.
Oh no, Neil was in a band, the Larson Featon band. That's how we found him, and that was a Tommy LaPuma thing, I believe. So Neil played on Ricky's record, but I brought Neil to England to play on George Harrison's album that I produced, and Willie Weeks and Andy Newmark. So it was a group of, and then the LA session guys.
Yeah.
So that's how
amazing session guys. Yeah. Now you lived in LA at the time?
I was born and raised there. I moved here to New York. I moved east in 1983.
That's right. You had mentioned.
Yeah.
How did you get into? Were you a musician to begin with?
I was a songwriter, musician, half-baked musician. I started out as a songwriter and session player.
I did not know that. Were you a guitar player? Or?
Yeah, I was a guitar player. I was in the Shindig band.
Getting all the chicks?
I was on Shindig.
Really?
Yeah, I was in the band.
Oh my God.
About 9 months.
Oh,
yeah.
So how did that parlay into you becoming a producer?
Well, it was all going on all at once. My very first stuff that I ever did was with Bill Spector. Because I knew him before he ever made a record.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My older sister's older boyfriend was Phil's best friend and was being the other guy in the Teddy Bears. Phil's first record was I Love Him by the Teddy Bears. Marshall was the other guy in the group. And so they used to rehearse in my living room. They'd come home from John Bros Junior High School, and they were sitting around, like, Annette sitting on the floor rehearsing these songs before they even recorded them. So I was on it.
Yeah.
Right away.
Away.
Yes, this is for me.
Now, how old were you when all this was? High school or?
Maybe I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
13 when they were rehearsing. I was 13 years old.
So then you went off and were in a band, and then.
Then I took guitar lessons and I started writing, and then Phil actually asked me to come and sing on demos, and I started playing on records that he made before the Wall of Sound, the Paris Sisters records. And
wow.
I was singing and playing on all those records.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So is he a big influence on you?
He was a tremendous influence on me. Yeah.
Who are some of the other producers that you also would look up to?
Lieber Stoller. Jerry Goffin. Jerry Goffin, unsung.
I was going to say, I'm not that familiar that he was...
Well, he made all the Cookies records with Carole King, the Cookies.
Yeah.
Freddie Scott, Hey Girl.
Hey Girl.
You know,
Oh my
these
God.
beautiful records that he
records,
made.
yeah. Wow.
So, Locomotion. Yeah.
The original
The original
Yeah, the
classics.
original Locomotion. Little Eva. It's all Jerry Goffin.
That's nice.
Yeah, to say nothing of the lyrics.
Right.
Like he wrote all the lyrics to all those
Lyrics.
beautiful songs. Up on the Roof and Will You Love Me Tomorrow and Natural Woman and you know.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So.
And who else? I don't know. You know, Backrack, I suppose, to a certain extent. I love the Southern records, the Muscle Shoals records.
Now, what about today, as far as producing a whole record in a world of there being just singles and? What's your thoughts on that? Why make a whole record?
It's because the world is so different. You know, there aren't the budgets that there used to be, so you have to be creative and try to do things quickly. And in a way, it might be a plus. You know, where you have to think about, well, look, they made in the wee small hours of the morning in a couple of days, a few sessions, orchestra there. Sinatra singing, everybody live. They came in and they did their job, and then they went and had martinis, whatever they did. So, but there's something to it. You know.
Yeah, there is.
The last record that I made, which I think just came out, if I'm not mistaken, last week.
Okay.
Was with Christine Ebersole, the
Congratulations.
genius actress and singer.
Wow.
Who, she won the Tony for Grey Gardens last year.
Oh my God.
A performance of a lifetime.
Oh my God.
See it.
I have not seen it. I can get tickets.
It's breathtaking.
All right, I believe you.
Breathtaking.
Well, I also like to think the great thing about the internet is opened up for all generations.
Yeah.
And we're from a generation where we could hardly wait to open that record and read those lyrics and listen and have the experience of really listening to a record. Remember the experience?
That's kind of gone now.
No, it's not for me.
Statistically. Yeah, there's still an audience.
Oh yeah.
Who are dying to hear stuff.
Dying to hear stuff.
Yeah.
And I think if you give them the chance. I mean, I still listen to a whole record. I read people's lyrics. I love people's poetry.
Yeah. Well, that's your thing.
That's my thing.
After all.
The Songwriters
Circle. The Songwriters Circle. Come on.
What are you doing now? What is you have your own company and?
Well, yeah, I have a production company and I'm just sort of, I'm talking to there are a few projects lurking around, and I'm talking to Rosabella. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do something with her.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a beautiful marriage?
I'd love to work with her.
Yeah.